Okay, so once you've got all your plugins set up from, well, my past videos, you should look a bit something like this. So you run the server, and you allow it to go on both private networks and public networks. That's important. So, wait for it to load. It'll load all your plugins, and it might give you a couple error messages. Try and read those. Like, for example, here, well, Craft Bucket is out of date, so it gets mad at me. So it loads all the worlds, and then that's about it. You got it running. So of course it works. Well, only for your local area network. Once you want to get it to work on the actual internet, then you're going to have a very fun time with port forwarding. Probably the best invention known to man. No, it's not. Definitely not. So once you've got port forwarding done, once you've got how to do port forwarding, actually, I should do that first. Stop the server first off, because that probably takes a lot of your processor. And yeah, wait for the chunks to save. Could take a while. And then you have to end all the plugins as well. No. Sorry. I'm really tempted to close this. Yeah, just close that. Then, what would I find? Yeah, in all programs, I have a program installed called Port Forward. Yeah, simple port forwarding. Now, this is a pretty useful program. It takes out all the need of you having to go through your router's configuration and all that. So, yeah, pretty useful. So, essentially, your username should be admin or something on the signs, and your password should also be admin. Then, how to create it? First, you would update the router list. Then select your router. I found mine. It usually finds yours, and if it doesn't find yours, you can always look it up on the back. You can set your local IP to a static IP. Don't need to, but if you have a server, it's really convenient. Unless if it never turns off, then, you don't really need to. Select which ports you need to do. So first off, add a custom, name it Minecraft. I'll name mine Minecraft 2. And yeah, port 25565 for, yeah, whatever it says. Whatever it says. And you want TCP/UDP. So this IP address should be correct. Then you'd add it, and then, it says for me it says it's already there, but it shouldn't say that. Once you have that, you're not completely off. You'd have to go to port forward checker, which will check a certain port, and while it checks that port, you should have your server open and running. Now, I'm not going to do that because my port forwarding never worked, though I did it correctly. Why it doesn't work is because, when you're in an apartment, it's got the whole apartment behind its own sort of internet router, which I can't port forward without hacking, and I'm an innocent person. Well, I try to stay clean out of hacking and stuff like that. But, yeah, that's essentially what you need to do. There is another site called, what's it? Yeah, portforward.com. Probably not the best way to go about this. But yeah, there is a site called portforward.com where I got the port forward checker first of all. But it's amazing. Pretty much it gives you all the models of that they support, and they support literally thousands of models. If yours is not there, it's either really old or really new, or just from some company that no one has ever heard of in their entire life. So, that's a good website. I'll link that in the description as well. But apart from that, that's essentially it. Have fun, and general couple tips. First off, a Minecraft server, for it to become popular, it's nice if it's people do prefer if it's open 24/7 and its uptime is more or less 99.9%. Can't be 100% because of course you're gonna have to stop it every once in a while to update the plugins, and if you're gonna restart it restart it every 4 hours, it'll probably give you something like a 99.5 percentage up time. Yeah. Also, it's good if you have it on a different computer, because it's a pretty heavy application. It's not the kind of thing, I mean, even if you've got like this amazing gaming computer with like, I don't know, an i7-990X and all that, it's going to slow down your games pretty badly as well, because it's going to take up RAM, 1 or 2 gigabytes depending on what you set it at, which you set it in the run server edit, where it says 1G, you can set it to anything. You cannot put a decimal point though. I've learned that by experimenting, of course. But so yeah, so it at least takes 1 gigabyte of your RAM, which if you only have 4 gigabytes of RAM, which if you're gaming, you should get something like 8. That makes you, I mean, 4 is not bad, but 8 just means you'll never have to worry about RAM ever. But yeah, 1 gigabyte of your RAM is quite a lot. To have something constantly eating 10 to 30 or 40% of your processor, in my case something like 60 or 70, it's not nice. I mean, it just slows down everything. I mean, even if games like Battlefield 3 are pretty graphical, GPU intensive, they're pretty processor intensive as well. So yeah, it's always good to have a spare computer. I mean, even an old computer will do, because just look up how to speed it up or stuff, then you're good. Also, you have P tweaks and stuff like that, so, and no lag, so that helps stuff. I mean, the server computer I use, which is my Modern Warfare computer, it's got a 2.8 gigahertz 32-bit processor. Obviously, it's got an okay graphics card. It's a dual core, and it's only got 2.5 gigabytes of RAM, and it runs the server fine. I've never really had problems, except when I was running something else at the same time. And there was that one bad day where it just didn't run at all really well. But most of the time it works. So, yeah, that's about it. But yeah, have another computer run it for you, or really you could just go for one of those hosting companies, and the hosting companies usually don't set this up for you. They might suggest and help, but usually you have to set up most of it by yourself. Just send it to them. I've never really looked at that because never bothered wanting. Even though I've wanted a server, wasn't really too eager paying for it, But yeah, a couple other things, if you wonder how people get it to be like thevoxelbox.com and log into that server, or a certain website name, it's to do with the DNS. You got to register that domain name, and you've got to register the domain name. You don't necessarily have to run. Yeah, you do have to run it on the same IP address. So, I don't know, either get a hosting service or host a website and a server from your home. And last of all, this does take up quite a lot of your internet. There is a nice place called website called Can I Host .com. Yeah, so it's a pretty long domain name, but it's amazing. And pretty much you just tell it how fast your upload speed, how fast your download speed, and how much RAM in megabytes your computer have. So the most important parts of the server are essentially the processor, the hard drive. Well, not in order. In order, it'd be the upload speed, the RAM, the download speed. No, the upload speed, the RAM, the processor, the download speed, and the hard drive. The hard drive is to get the chunks. Download speed is to download what the client sends you. The processor is to process everything. The RAM is to store everything. You need that to be pretty fast, but it might not be as important as the processor. You can switch those around. And the upload speed is really important because you'll be sending maybe 5 or 6 megabytes of information per second to 20 or 30 different people. Now, why don't the people who play on Minecraft servers use as much? That's because, well, you only upload for yourself, and usually download speeds are faster for people, and you don't download as much because you don't download the position of everybody around you and all the chunks that everybody's on, unless everybody's on the same chunk, exactly on the same chunk, and that's the only chunks loaded. That's really rare, unless you're having some sort of meeting, or you're a bunch of cowards who can't leave your chunk or something, because, yeah. But yeah, there's links to like speedtest.net, which checks your internet speed, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing else, really. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of small points I've missed, but those you can ask in the comments. And apart from that, well, it's been fun trying to remember everything I used to know about servers, because I wanted one at one point. I think I've mentioned that like a million times. But this has been MrSethOMG. Like and subscribe, and over and